Every year, millions of Americans celebrate getting a raise at work. They believe more money will finally solve their financial problems. But for most people, that day never comes. Meet Ethan and Ryan. They work at the same company, have the same job title, and earn exactly the same salary every month. One ordinary Tuesday morning, both men receive the exact same email. Starting next month, their salary will increase by 3%. Ryan immediately starts thinking about everything he can buy with the extra money. A nicer watch, a newer phone, maybe even a better car. Ethan doesn't think about spending first. Instead, he opens his budget and asks himself one simple question before making any decision. Before his next paycheck even arrives, Ethan increases the amount that automatically goes into his investment account every single month. Ryan isn't making a terrible mistake. He's simply doing what almost everyone does when their income goes up. They slowly raise their lifestyle too. At that moment, neither of them realizes it. But the habits they repeat after every paycheck will quietly shape the next 10 years of their financial future. While everyone else is celebrating a bigger paycheck, Ethan is building a bigger system. He knows that financial freedom comes from habits, not excitement. Ryan decides it's finally time for a bigger apartment. After all, his salary has increased. So why not upgrade his lifestyle too? Ryan proudly shares his plans with Ethan. Everything sounds exciting. And honestly, most people would probably make the exact same choice. Ethan doesn't try to get rich overnight. His goal is simple. Make small, smart decisions that will keep working even while he sleeps. A few months later, Ryan notices something strange. Even with a higher salary, there never seems to be much money left at the end of the month. They still earn the same paycheck. But for the first time, they begin to feel very different about money. The numbers are still small, but Ethan understands something powerful. Wealth grows quietly long before anyone else can see it. The difference between Ethan and Ryan isn't their income. It isn't luck either. It's the small decisions they repeat month after month, without realizing where those decisions will eventually lead. 1 year passes. Ethan doesn't feel dramatically richer, but every month his investments quietly continue growing without demanding more effort from him. Ryan earns more than ever before, yet somehow every unexpected expense feels like a financial emergency. Ryan tells Ethan that everything seems more expensive now. Bills keep growing, but his bank account never seems to catch up. Instead of chasing quick money, Ethan spends time learning how money actually works. Knowledge becomes another investment that keeps paying him back. Ryan keeps telling himself he'll start saving next month, but every month, another purchase somehow feels more important. Another year, another raise. Once again, both men earn more money, but once again, they make completely different decisions with it. For Ethan, every raise follows the same rule. Increase investments first, then decide whether anything else actually needs to change. 3 years have passed since their first raise. They still earn nearly the same income, but their financial lives are quietly moving in completely different directions. 4 years have passed. Ethan still isn't chasing shortcuts. His investments continue growing quietly, month after month, because consistency is doing the heavy lifting. Ryan isn't earning less. In fact, he's making more than ever before. But every new expense has quietly replaced the extra income he worked so hard to earn. Ryan blames inflation. Ethan understands that prices matter, but habits matter even more. The same paycheck can build wealth or disappear, depending on daily choices. Every payday follows the same routine. Before Ethan spends a single dollar, his investments receive their share automatically. Ryan tells himself this purchase will be the last big one for a while. It's the same promise he's made many times before. Another strong performance review. Another raise. Most people think higher income automatically creates wealth, but that's where the story usually goes wrong. For the first time, Ethan notices something encouraging. His investments are now earning money on their own. Progress still looks small, but it's beginning to accelerate. By the 4th year, the difference is still invisible to almost everyone. But invisible habits are already creating visible results that will soon become impossible to ignore. 5 years have passed. Ethan isn't rich yet, but something important has changed. His money has finally started working as hard as he does. Ryan has received every raise the company offered. Yet every month still ends with the same question. Where did all the money go? Ryan wonders why saving always feels impossible. Ethan knows the answer isn't a bigger paycheck. It's a better system. Instead of guessing what to do next, Ethan keeps learning. Every good financial decision makes the next one even easier. Ryan believes one more upgrade will finally make life feel complete. But every upgrade quietly creates another monthly expense, another year, another raise. The company rewards both men equally. But what they do next continues to separate their future. The wealthiest habits are often the quietest. They don't impress strangers today, but they completely transform your future tomorrow. Half a decade has passed since their first raise. Their salaries are still almost identical, but their financial lives are no longer even close. 6 years have now passed. Ethan's portfolio is no longer growing because of luck. It's growing because he never stopped repeating the same simple habit. Ryan works just as hard as Ethan, but every raise has been absorbed by higher monthly payments and a lifestyle that became more expensive over time. Ryan believes the economy is holding him back. Ethan knows that the biggest financial battles are usually won long before the paycheck arrives. Every month follows the same routine. Invest first, spend second. That single habit has now become completely automatic. Ryan tells himself this upgrade is justified because he's earning more than ever. But every new payment quietly steals money from his future. Year after year, the company rewards both men equally. But their financial future is no longer being shaped by their employer. It's being shaped by their habits. Ethan understands something most people never realize. Building wealth isn't about making one perfect decision. It's about making the right decision over and over again. 6 years ago, they stood in this same place with the same paycheck. Today, their salaries are still similar, but their financial future couldn't be more different. 7 years have passed. For the first time, Ethan realizes that his investments are earning more money each month than he saves from a single paycheck. Compound growth is finally becoming visible. Ryan's salary has continued to grow. Unfortunately, so have his monthly expenses. Every raise has quietly disappeared into a more expensive lifestyle. Ryan says everything keeps getting more expensive. Ethan quietly realizes that the real difference isn't inflation. It's the direction their money has been flowing for years. For Ethan, investing no longer feels like a sacrifice. It's simply part of his life. Just like paying the electric bill or buying groceries, Ryan still believes one more upgrade will make life feel easier. But every upgrade quietly creates another financial commitment, waiting for next month's paycheck. Another bonus arrives. Ryan sees an opportunity to spend. Ethan sees another opportunity to invest. The money is exactly the same. Only the decision is different. For years, the progress felt almost invisible. Now the results are becoming impossible to ignore. Small choices have quietly turned into meaningful wealth. The gap between Ethan and Ryan didn't appear overnight. It was built one paycheck at a time, one decision at a time, over 7 quiet years. 8 years have passed. Ethan no longer checks his investments hoping for good news. He checks them simply to stay informed. His system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Ryan wonders why life still feels expensive. His income is higher than ever, yet financial peace always seems just out of reach. For the first time, Ryan asks Ethan a serious question. "How do you always seem so relaxed about money?" Ethan smiles and says, "I never tried to look wealthy. I simply gave every raise a job before I gave myself an excuse to spend it." Even after 8 years, Ethan follows the exact same rule. Every raise strengthens his future before it changes his lifestyle. That conversation changes Ryan. For the first time, he stops blaming his income and starts examining his habits. Ryan doesn't become wealthy overnight, but he finally begins making decisions that his future self will thank him for. 8 years earlier, they earned the same paycheck. Today, they share something far more valuable, a completely different way of thinking about money. 9 years have passed. Ethan finally reaches a moment that once felt impossible. His investments now grow faster than he ever imagined, not because he chased shortcuts, but because he stayed consistent. Ryan finally stops asking, "How can I earn more?" Instead, he begins asking, "How can I keep more of what I already earn?" That single question changes everything. Ethan explains that wealth rarely comes from one brilliant decision. It comes from hundreds of ordinary decisions repeated for years without giving up. Ryan starts making small changes. He cancels unnecessary expenses, avoids impulse purchases, and begins investing automatically every payday. Another year, another raise. But this time, something is different. Both Ethan and Ryan choose to strengthen their future before upgrading their lifestyle. Looking back, Ethan realizes that no single paycheck made him financially secure. It was thousands of small decisions that quietly changed his life. Ryan smiles and says, "I wish I had started years ago." Ethan replies, "The second best time to start is today." 10 years earlier, they earned the same salary. Today, the biggest difference between them isn't income. It's the habits they chose to repeat every single month. 10 years later, Ethan's life looks surprisingly ordinary. He still drives to work. He still lives below his means. But behind that ordinary life is something extraordinary: complete financial confidence. Ryan hasn't become wealthy overnight, but he's finally moving in the right direction. His money now has a purpose instead of simply disappearing every month. Ryan smiles and says, "I thought getting rich meant earning more." Ethan replies, "Getting rich starts with keeping and growing what you already earn." The difference between them was never intelligence, never opportunity, and never income. It was simply the small decisions they repeated every single payday. Wealth isn't built by one lucky moment. It's built by hundreds of ordinary choices that nobody notices. Until one day, everyone notices the results. Your future isn't decided by your next paycheck. It's decided by what you choose to do with that paycheck. Again and again, year after year. If two people can earn the exact same salary for 10 years and end up living completely different financial lives, then income was never the real answer. Habits were. Remember, financial freedom doesn't begin when you earn your first $1 million. It begins the moment you give every dollar a purpose instead of an excuse. The next paycheck could be the one that changes your future, if you choose differently. If this story made you think, subscribe for more real-life money lessons that could quietly change your future.